And what does mastery look like to you?
I feel like it's a skill that you need to hone in every day. I mean, you can't become a master of like 10 things, like they say, jack of all trades, master of none. Mastery literally requires you to show up every single day. I mean, a great example of that would be, I think, look at any of these famous artists. You take Vincent van Gogh or like Picasso or Francis Newton D'Souza in India or Amrita Shergill, these guys or A. Ramachandran. There are so many of them. I mean, they show up every single day. I mean, think about it. Like, there is nothing that Van Gogh got, if you read his biography, there's nothing he got out of pain. I mean, he would just do it because he wanted to do it and he couldn't explain this need to anybody. And that's literally what mastery is. You show up every day. It doesn't matter who's watching. I mean, it's the same with people, sort of like athletes, there was a really nice Under Armour film, of Michael Phelps. It's what you do with the back. It's what you do, when the lights are off or background is what, shows up. It's like, you get 15 seconds of fame on the Olympic stage or like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But it's, the 4 years of preparing for that 5 minutes is what that nobody sees, right? Like nobody ends up seeing any of these athletes behind. But that's mastery. I mean, think about it. I mean, Michael Phelps has been swimming since he was like in his like he was a baby.
He was, I think 6 or 7 years old.
It's the same thing. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, he was a baby, 7, 8 years old, and he's been swimming every day for so many hours. I mean, how is that? I mean, think about it. What is changing in his skill set? Nothing. Like, the fact that he just puts in the hours and it's compound interest. That's what I keep telling people. Also, it's like, you show up and consistent. I mean, I'm not saying he's not talented, and I'm not saying he has a body. All of those things have worked in favor for him. I'm not saying that. But the point is that he doesn't take that for granted. He shows up everything. You could be great, but if you don't have discipline, consistency, and you do not show up, it's impossible to become a master. Mastery of a skill, you to come up every day on days you do not want to come up, including I don't want to wake up, but you wake up. I don't want to work out, but it's like even losing weight is the same thing, or like becoming healthy. It's people just like, oh, I'm not losing any weight, I'm not becoming healthy. I'm like, yeah, but you're not. I mean, yeah, but I tried to diet for a week. I'm like, let's talk after you dieted or you've been eating healthy for a whole year or 2 years or 3 years, and let's talk about it. It doesn't happen overnight. People think that change is overnight, but it's actually a result of compound interest.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing, I was just speaking to some of my friends about this today. And one thing which really worked for me is, I've been doing this for a month, at least 2 months actually now, is every day just find one thing in my environment, because I'm mostly at home now, find one thing in my environment to improve it and just like make that a habit. So because I'm living by myself, because I'm at home, there's no need for me to make my bed. Just a simple thing, like make my bed. I would start making that. What I found was that over a period of time, like I think 1 month into it, I began, like once I've improved everything that I could improve around me, I began to improve the abstract things around me. So I would get to inbox 0, and I would make sure that everything, all the communications that I had to make was done. Once I did that, then I was like, okay, fine. Then I would make sure that all the things that I had to do in the day were done. So it's like I started with a simple action, which was just cleaning, making sure that my bed was made. That's all. But the spirit there was obviously do one good thing, like one new thing or one thing to improve, like at a time, step by step.
Yeah.
And that kind of snowballed into something definitely very large.